I'm Bobby.
Hey, I'm Nathan.
My mouth is watering because...
Ooh, this could be a podcast, and it's extra tasty.
Well, because that's another element of the, the dangerous hellscape that you're in right now. Because there's fake people out there.
Right.
There's just X amount of fake people that are out there that you only have to take, time and effort to figure out if they're real or not.
Yeah, there's a bit going around I saw on Reddit, so whether or not this is true, I think it makes for a great story regardless. The idea, a woman met a guy on an app and said, okay, that's great. Why don't you meet me at 7 o'clock at this restaurant and we'll just make a date. We'll meet each other there. Goes there. Guy doesn't show up.
Okay.
She's like, all right, fuck it, I'm here. It doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and order something. I'll eat. Find out another one of her friends had the exact same thing happen at the exact same fucking restaurant, and she's concerned that maybe the restaurant is posing as
a fishing
expedition to get people to eat at the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And that is that's some 4D chess. That's a weird
Someone
word about
got a promotion.
Yeah, it's like, here's the deal. It's great. It's a bunch of singles. They come in. They feel sorry. They might have one or two extra drinks to make themselves feel a little bit better about themselves. And
the real question would is how many single dudes were there? Because I'm gonna speculate wildly, Cole, with your dating environment that you're in, is that there's going to be a lot more single dudes willing to show up and follow a woman than there are women that are going to follow a man.
Unless it's, at the bottom of the barrel.
And we can't, that's
we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know
scientifically.
You would think there's a lot of desperate women out there too, though.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah, they're out there,
and yet you're still not dating them.
Wow. Anyway, back to this.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
Cole, you're a lovely person.
He doesn't need to be desperate.
No, you're not desperate, Cole.
I'm not desperate.
No, it's fine.
No, but going back to the marketing, I guess, of it, or the 4D chess, for lack of a better term. I mean, you can't rule it out. It's definitely on the table.
It's on the table. I can't imagine how that's really shitty. That's really shitty person to do that. Just getting people's hopes up.
But both can be true that it's a really good idea and a shitty person.
Only to sell them, a couple of cocktails and an overpriced appetizer. That's
Well, you're not getting apps if you're by yourself. I mean, that's...
Well, unless that one app looks really good and you don't want to overload yourself with pasta.
Well, if I'm dining alone, and I don't like dining alone if I don't have to. I don't know. There's just a certain sadness to it.
Yeah, I would never order food. I'd get a drink, but I would leave after a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'd get a drink by myself.
But you're hungry.
I might get something to go.
Okay.
I might get something to go.
Okay, so it's still a win.
Sure, for them. Absolutely.
Okay.
If an appetizer is $16 and I'm not having to pay for a dinner for a girl, no.
Well, no, you're not going to go through get a $25 pasta dish, right?
No.
Shrimp scampi's not going to make its way into the table.
I can make Shipwardy at home, okay?
Well, in no world am I sitting by myself, though, and ordering an app and an entree by myself. I mean, that's going to explain a lot as to why you're single in the first place.
Okay, here's a question. What would that app have to be for you to order it? What would the magic...
And an entree?
Yeah.
I don't know. In no world. Is there anything sadder than sitting at a table eating shrimp cocktail by yourself?
No. But you want to be getting shrimp cocktail because...
You asked for an example of an app.
No. What app would it have to be for you to order it by yourself?
I'll have a side salad, please.
Well, it's a side salad. Side salad's not an app.
Is there a magical...
Well, I just gave you an example.
No, I'm asking what's the one thing if you saw it on the menu, you'd be like, fuck it. Well, I guess I got to get this. I hate everything about the scenario that I'm in. However, this is a shining beacon of an app that I really want.
I gave you an example.
Don't tell me shrimp cocktail's not it.
Shrimp cocktail.
That's the one.
If it's oh my gosh, here I am on a beach, and we're supposed to meet. It's me and this girl we're supposed to meet.
Shrimp
and
cocktail?
they're known for their Tiger Gulf shrimp cocktail or whatever the hell it is.
That's the thing that's going to get you.
I'm still probably not ordering it.
Okay. No, but I'm saying
I can't imagine a world that has to be one of the saddest things would ever see is just a person sadly eating a shrimp cocktail by himself.
No, that's funny. That's funny. That's a funny image
to me if I'm not the one doing it.
But I'm saying you're telling me of all the food out there, of all the appetizers you've ever had or would like to see. I'm asking for a recommendation for an appetizer. That's what I'm asking for you.
I love a good shrimp cocktail, especially if they're Gulf shrimp. I mean, if they're big and I'm in an area that has the shrimp, I'm going shrimp cocktail all day. It's like calamari.
A bruschetta? Bruschetta?
Bruschetta.
Bruschetta?
Yeah.
No, but if like because calamari, I love, but also if you
Yeah.
get shitty, you can get shitty calamari anywhere. And
Yeah,
so I'm not going to risk it.
I've never had non-fried calamari,
Oh, it's good.
so I'm curious about that.
Yeah, but a good shrimp cocktail shared with more people. I feel because cocktail is
Yes.
in the name,
Okay.
it implies more than one person, and maybe that's continuing on with cocktail party.
Sure. Okay.
You know.
I mean, even though a cocktail is a singular thing.
Yes, exactly.
But the cocktail. When you
I'm
hear
elaborating
cocktail,
on this thought. I have not thought about this
Right,
a lot, and
right.
then giving you my dissertation.
yes.
I'm
Okay.
just telling you. I'm speaking out loud.
Yeah.
to
No,
you.
that's great. I'm going to shift gears. Part of my interruption. I'm going to shift gears just a little bit. No, it's fine. And it's going to be worth it in the end.
We had a
Okay?
lovely appetizer-based conversation going.
No, I know. It's about food, okay?
Well, I was going to ask.
I was going to bring up pickled eggs, but you ruined it.
I'm
You ruined
sorry.
it.
I'm shifting gears because I'm taking hold of everything. So, a couple of years ago, it was a New Year's Eve, and Bobby and I and our wives were roped into going out with another third coworker and his ex-wife, right?
His second ex-wife.
His second ex-wife, by the way. And it was a lovely evening. It was weird as all get out. It was great because Bobby and my wife were stuck on one end with the awkward couple. And
Right.
Bobby's wife and myself had a lovely time having no idea of the ridiculousness.
Being really shitty party guests.
I mean, just ridiculous. Listen, we were once removed from the crazy, so we just didn't know what was going on. Anyhow, at one point in the conversation, the idea of eating horse came up.
You're telling the story wrong because it wasn't at one point in the conversation. It was where the conversation got awkward.
And that's what, like,
this is the turning point.
It got completely shut down. And they're like, somehow I don't remember how exactly horse got brought up.
I
Bobby-
was watching Anthony Bourdain's
Yes.
No Reservation.
Yes.
And he was in a country that ate horse. And
Yes.
they had a horse street meat.
Yes.
And he tried it.
Yeah.
And I believe I was telling you how, this happened
Yeah,
on
because
Anthony.
you're a big stand for Anthony Bourdain, and for good reason.
And he's rest in peace.
And I said, I would definitely eat horse. I will definitely try horse. And this woman comes.
Wait, you had the qualifier though,
What's
because
that?
I would eat horse in a place that it's known to be eaten. Because that's at least how I qualified it.
Oh,
where-
that's how you qualified it?
well, because I'm like, I'm not going to go to Indiana and
Right.
Crazy Bob's has
Yeah.
horse on the menu. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll give it a shot here.
I'll give it a shot there.
I'll go to Egypt, I think is where he was, where
Yeah.
they're eating horse. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll give that a shot.
This woman lost it, by the way. She
Very
could
much.
not handle the idea of people eating horse, and like even at one point, like got up and left. She came back. She got talked back into sitting back down. It was horrible, and just so the idea, I'm like, so ever since
It's horrible for your wife and I, is what it was horrible for.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Anyhow, I wake up this morning and my beautiful baby boy is doing a study abroad trip. He's doing his foreign exchange student program, and he's currently in Japan. He's been in Japan since August.
Okay.
Beautiful son of mine.
Okay.
And I wake up to
Your words, not mine.
and I wake up and he's like, "Hey, here's I'm eating raw horse."
Ooh. Raw horse?
He's like, yeah. Hey, there's this restaurant, yeah, that my host family's brother owns or something, and I'm eating raw horse meat,
Ooh.
and it looks really good, and I'm like, how is it? And he's like, it's really good, and I'm like, so I just.
Wait,
yeah,
did you see any of this?
Yes, I've got pictures. I'll share with you. Just
Was it
momentarily.
ground?
One was
it like a tatar?
One was like a tatar. The other one is
pronounced tatar.
It's pronounced tatar. One was kind of a
So
tatar.
good, they named it twice.
They named it twice.
I don't think that
And
applies
I'm
here,
like,
but
that looks absolutely fantastic. I would totally, especially this guy with a big raw egg, some green onion. Oh, just like
oh, that's gonna be tough. I mean, we send that
The
to me.
texture or
no, it's just and then it's just so the idea of like eating raw horse meat, like this one is much more pure.
See, you didn't lose me at the horse. You lost me at the raw. That's
See,
where
I don't know.
because I mean, and again, this goes back into the hypothetical conversation that we were having.
Right.
She, our friend's second ex-wife got
Yes.
mad because we were hypothetically talking about if we were in a place that horse was known
Horse,
for.
yeah.
And going back to the Anthony Bourdain example, it was like horse street meat.
Yeah.
To the point where if like you just handed it to me and I ate it and you told me after the fact that it was horse, I'm like, oh, well,
that's
it wasn't.
horse. Yeah.
So I understand like where she was coming from because she loves horses and she looks at horses differently. And the idea of eating a horse to her is so crazy, but she couldn't wrap her head around the hypothetical conversation.
Right.
You're salvaging meat out of an animal that you're just going to burn or bury or
It's
whatever.
a first world problem.
Oh,
You'd be like, I would never. Of course you would. If you get hungry enough, you'll eat anything.
And I was talking to my kids this morning about this. It's like, hey, people used to eat horse all the time out in the West. I mean, you want to eat it normally because it's a form of transportation.
It's a very valuable resource.
It's an asset that is. So the idea of just eating it willy nilly is not something you want to do. However, if you're starving to death in the middle of a blizzard, that's done.
And
China and Kazakhstan are the two biggest countries that eat horse, but also France and Switzerland
as well. Yeah.
I want to say that Anthony Bourdain episode, there was also like a horse race going on, and like
eating a horse at a horse race.
Eating horse outside of a horse race, I believe, is what it was. So there was an implication that the winner of that, the loser of that race, was going right on the grill. And that's the personification of animals that we do in America.
Seabiscuit broke his leg, so we're eating good tonight.
Yeah. And also, and I've said this to you, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed, once again, in the right circumstance, eating dog. That if that's something that is a delicacy, I'm open to whatever is happening
in that culture. That up? Because I've been recently rewatching the show Silicon Valley. I never got all the way through it because once TJ Miller left, I was like, I'm done.
Lost interest.
Yeah. Anyway, without describing the entire episode, at one point in time, they allow dogs to come into the office, and then is it Kumanji? What's
I can never pronounce his name. I feel bad about it, but
we all know who we're talking about. Okay,
he went to Grinnell College in Iowa.
He did. We should probably. We're gonna learn his name so he's a friend of the show. Hold on one second here. Cole's got. Looking up dog.
Kumanji.
I'm pretty sure it's Kumanji something.
It's hard for me. I don't know. It's one of those names that just doesn't resonate like in my mouth.
Kumal Nanjiani.
Yeah.
Nanjiani.
That sounds right. The first way you said it sounded right.
There's a J-I. Yeah. There's Nanjiani, I believe. It's Kamal.
I think it's Johnny. Nanjiani.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So now we know who we're talking about. Okay. But he recounts being from Pakistan, how like they have a completely different outlook on dogs in Pakistan.
Right.
They're not the same as they do in America.
Right.
And they said we had a very corrupt mayor or something like that, but he poisoned all the dogs, and that alone got him reelected. We built him a statue because he poisoned all the dogs. And so
it's interesting, having that.
We personify animals here in America,
yes,
and especially the ones we love. We make movies about them and all this different stuff. So the idea of eating them is very difficult to wrap their head around.
Sure,
but
not for me.
And that's fine. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to take offense to you saying that you would try dog.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out of my way.
I
wouldn't go out of my way to eat horse either.
Right.
Unless I'm there. And even if raw was the situation, I think I'm out no matter what.
Now, here's a question for you. Like, you're sitting at a restaurant. You're in some far exotic land, which will be specified later. Yeah. You open up the menu, and dog's on there.
Yeah.
Are you giving it a second thought?
Am I giving it a second thought?
Are you jumping right in, or are you hemming and hawing whether or not you should try dog?
I almost would need to be fed it and then told after the fact.
Okay.
That's going to be probably, if I'm being honest with myself and honest with you and honest with the listeners, that's how it would have to go.
Yeah. I wouldn't order it, but if someone offered it to me, I would try it.
I think I'd order it.
Well, I know you would, but you're a sociopath.
But no, more like
you hate dogs.
No, it's more of like the
and
experience, and like that's a big check mark on the list of things done in life.
So you could tell people and then they would immediately get mad? Because, 99% of the people that you tell in your life that you tried dog are going to probably not talk to you or be really pissed.
I mean,
you're not going to get oh, really? I've always wanted to try that.
It's not going to be like, hey, here's my dog, Buster. He's a pretty good, sweet little puppers. That is a sweet puppers. Speaking of which, I've eaten dog. That's not the conversation. It's more like
you're gonna have a real hard time at cocktail parties.
Yeah, well, I want to be like, hey, what's the weirdest thing you ever ate?
I've tried dog.
Hey, tried dog. I was in what's country? Where's dog served? Cole Gibbs.
Mostly Far East Asia and the Middle East.
Okay.
So Korea, China, Indonesia,
Yeah.
And then like India.
Where dogs run wild,
Yeah.
like wild animals. But they don't personify dogs there. That's
Right,
what I'm. That's
right,
my point of
right.
like they have just never personified animals the way that Americans have.
Here's a fun stat.
Go on.
27 million dogs are eaten each year by humans.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
So 27 million.
Are we talking like rat terriers, or are we talking huskies, or
It does not.
it doesn't
get
get
into that,
okay?
yeah.
All right.
Now the inverse here. Can you look up how many dogs kill humans each year?
Wow. Whoa.
Because there was an interesting list. I want to see, not to get into full Business Insider, because I don't think it was the same Business Insider, but I did see like a list of the animals that kill the most humans, and it was pretty impressive. And dogs were a lot higher up on the list than I thought.
In the United States, 46 people were killed by dogs last year.
Oh, that's
Worldwide though,
that seems low.
because this is yes, it seems low for America. This goes to my point about personifying animals because. In America, it's 46.
Yeah.
Worldwide, it was, I believe, in the tens of thousands. So
25,000 deaths.
25,000 deaths as a result of dogs. That's crazy.
compared to 46 in America.
46 in
So
America. So
we
let's-
could probably give the Middle East and Asia, I'm assuming, the places that are like, these are predators.
Yeah, let's
you
not
know?
bring up gun deaths in America ever again. By the way, since we've kept it down to 46 dog deaths.
Let's focus on the facts here.
Let's
okay?
focus on the
Michael
facts.
Vick is still walking the streets, by the way.
Well, hey, none of his dogs killed a human. Okay, he served his time. Okay,
Yeah, he's been rehabilitated.
we are very pro Michael Vick rehabilitation.
Whoa.
I said rehabilitation. Everyone that's in dogfighting should be rehabilitated.
I'm never going to say I'm pro Michael Vick.
Rehabilitation. You're forgetting this word.
Yeah,
Cole.
it's
I
important.
don't care.
You're saying that's a lie. Michael Vick never was truly rehabilitated. Oh wow!
Oh, you didn't watch that 30 for 30? I think it was very clear in the 30 for 30, and it's totally believable that
Sure.
all that stuff was happening. He knew about it, but it wasn't like he was coordinating.
He was in it.
Yeah, I mean, it was very much happening around him, and dare I say, a part of the culture that he was brought up in. And,
Yeah.
So he was the Pope in this situation, is what you're saying.
Cool.
Are you trying to make an analogy? Is that what you're trying to do?
Cool.
So he is guilt by association. I mean, he served his time. I mean, that's.
So you're at a dinner. You've been invited into someone's house in Egypt or Azerbaijan.
Okay. I'm
And-
going to Azerbaijan all day.
You're in Baku. Baku, just beautiful capital of Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
And you're at a nice person's house, and they sit there, and you're all sitting around the table.
They're all nice people at
Yeah.
Baku.
right. And all of a sudden,
Shout out.
the dish gets past you, and you say, "Oh, what is this?" And the guy says, "It's dog."
Mm-hmm.
Are you going in that time?
To be polite,
Yeah, that's. I mean,
I think
that's-
smell has a huge component of this.
And how about it smells great.
Yeah, look, I'm not taking like the moral stance here where
Yeah.
I'm just like, because I agreed I would
Yeah,
try horse.
yeah.
I'm trying to put myself in the situation. If it
You
has
can
been,
smell the shallots.
if it's been established that, if it's been established that I can pass on the food,
Yeah.
then I'm probably going to pass. But
Okay.
if I'm going to severely insult them and the rest of the night
Yeah.
is going to be up for grabs or in
Yeah.
question,
Yeah.
then I'm probably taking a little bit. But here's the thing. Here's just to correlate with
Okay,
me. This
yeah.
is we're going to Americanize this example that you just gave.
Okay.
Okay. I, with cooked salmon, have a very, very negative reaction to it. It
Okay.
makes me very sick if I eat even a little bit of cooked salmon. Smoked salmon, raw salmon, perfectly fine. This makes no sense. I know
Yeah.
that salmon's good for
That
me.
doesn't-
I try to eat well.
That
so
doesn't make sense.
but I swear to God, every single time that I've had salmon that's been cooked, I get very sick to the point of like wanting to throw up and, if not, shit my pants.
Yeah.
Last time I had salmon was to be polite at your house.
Oh, yeah.
Your wife made salmon, and it's a very similar situation to the thing that you just presented to me,
Okay.
where she made
baked
salmon. I think you were grilling, so there was assorted
yeah.
stuff, but she had made salmon, and she's like, "Try it," and I'm like, "I don't want to be rude, so I'm going to try it," even though I know this in the
Yeah.
past has made me very sick. I tried a little bit of that fucking salmon, and it made my stomach sick, and I am there for X amount of time.
Hey guys out there and listening to this right now, if any of you are actual medical professionals and can have any idea what the hell's going on with Bobby's Tum Tum in this scenario, please write into this could be a podcast at gmail.com and let us know, because this is
Credentials be damned.
credentials be damned. I'm just curious. Me and my non-existent medical practice, I can't think of anything outside of psychosomatic, and that's and I'm not accusing you of that.
But it sounds very much like you are.
I'm not. It's off the table. That's what I'm saying.
So here I'll give you one of the first.
I don't know what it is.
Incidents,
but I believe that it's not psychosomatic.
So one of the first
from my
times-
medical opinion.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Anyway, so
I'm not a doctor.
I had to just get one more in there.
Let's get one more. It'll be funny here if you keep going.
Yeah.
So the first time that my wife meets my parents when we were dating. Okay. I bring her over to my parents' house.
Okay.
And we bring over the new Abbey beer, the beer that the monks bake. Monks make.
Yeah.
So they had put out some new version of it, and I found out about this. So I'd had this before, controlled setting.
Sure.
Okay. So I'd had this beer before. I'm like, we'll bring over one of those, and then we'll all have a little bit of it because they're pretty high octane.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like 18
beers.
ABV.
Yeah. So we had that, and but I'd had that before, control
Okay.
group over here. And so we go over to my parents' house. It's the first time my wife, my girlfriend at the time, future wife, is meeting my parents.
Okay.
Going over for dinner. My dad makes salmon, rice, and asparagus or something like that.
Ooh.
I bring over the beer. We sit down. We all drink the beer. Dare I say an appetizer?
Yeah.
And then we sit down. We start eating. I take a couple bites of the salmon, and all of a sudden there's a gurgle, and I'm like, "Oh man, this is not gonna be good." I'm like, "Just power through. Eat some rice.
It's fine.
Eat some rice. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Keep it together."
Yeah.
And
Did you start sweating at all?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It got bad. It got real bad. Where I was like, I'll be right back. Hold on one second. So I just put my fork down and went downstairs.
I was gonna say, how far is the bathroom?
In this house, I lived downstairs in the basement.
Okay.
And I wasn't living there at the time, but my old room was down there, and there was a private bath off by the bathroom, or off by my bedroom. So I go in there and I puke my fucking guts out.
Really?
Puke, like full on puke.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, oh my God, what the hell do I do? I'm sweating. It's not good.
No.
And I go back upstairs and I try to act like nothing happened,
Yeah.
but clearly something has happened. Like, well, I was down there for a while. And
no one said we could hear everything.
we could hear everything. This is corporate housing. These walls are paper thin.
It's really bad.
This is like a Bluth Company house here. So I take a couple more bites, thinking I just power through. Maybe it's the beer. I don't know. I don't know what the what the cause of all this shit is. So I take a couple more bites, and I'm like, I gotta go again.
Then it's round two.
Yep, round two. And I go back downstairs and I do my thing. And I'm like, I just gotta lay down. I sleep for 2 fucking hours. I leave
You leave
yes
alone.
alone. The first time that she's ever met him, I leave my future wife alone with my parents. They had a lovely evening. They were just wondering what the hell happened with me. But like,
At what point did they check on you? At all?
I told them, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I have to go lay down. Like something's wrong. And so I went down and I was like, I'm just gonna lay down for like 20 minutes. I'm zonked. I just fucking passed the fuck out. I woke up, and this room that I had in my parents' old house was no windows whatsoever. So any time of day was beautiful to sleep. And my God, you just shut that door.
Just
Pitch black. It was
fire
beautiful.
trap, but go on.
It was a fire. It was not up to code. Yeah, I'll tell you that. There was no escape.
It's supposed to be an office.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a pool table is supposed to be in there originally. The corporate housing.
It's corporate housing.
Yeah.
Corporate housing has pool tables?
Oh, all over the place.
News to me.
Yeah. But so I wake up and I'm like, what time is it?
What year is it?
It's 8:30. Oh my God. I slept for 2 fucking hours. I go upstairs and they're like, are you feeling better? I'm like, well, I'm just in shock that I've been in sleep this long. But I think it was that time and then maybe 2 or 3 other times, your salmon time included, that I've had salmon, but the same reaction. When I ate it at your house, I ate a very little bit.
Yeah.
Knowing that could be the situation, I had to go sleep in your house for 2 hours. And I didn't want to do that.
I think I want to see this like for real though. I want to see you like eat, and I want to stay with you on your hip the entire time.
Okay.
Just really like do this together.
Yeah.
I want to see you eat a minimal amount of salmon and have a complete like body shutdown because of it.
Yeah.
To the point where you're, losing all control of your bodily functions because of it.
You want to, well, you are a medical doctor. So.
I mean, unlicensed.
Do you look up anything?
I have salmon at my house right now, and that'd be me preparing it. So I feel like it'd be doubly just.
I think let Bobby prepare it. Bobby knows how to.
See, that's the thing. I don't know how to prepare salmon.
It's
because I never make it. My wife loves salmon, and I never make it for her.
That's one of life's greatest tragedies, if I've ever heard one.
I did take her out. It was her birthday this past weekend, and we went to a local high-end restaurant for
Salmon
brunch.
cake.
And it's like typical high-end restaurant. There's like 7 things to choose from on the menu.
Yeah.
And so you're just
So
like...
they're good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're good.
Yes.
But again, so I'm looking through. There was steak and eggs, and I love breakfast food. I just can't eat a ton of breakfast food.
Okay.
So the idea of steak and eggs is just too heavy for me in the morning.
All protein, baby. That's where I'm
it's
at.
just a lot. A whole New York strip and 2 eggs and potatoes. It's a lot.
It's the potatoes that are gonna get you.
So
Carboys.
one of the things, carbohydrates, absolutely, starches too. But there was a smoked salmon dish where everything in the description looked amazing. And the one thing that was glaring at me was smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon.
And like I said, smoked salmon or raw salmon, because I can eat like sushi, salmon sushi, perfectly fine. Smoked salmon dip all day long.
You just
perfectly
don't want to
fine.
risk it.
But I was like, I have other things to do today. And God, if I get this and I eat it and it fucks up the rest of my day, I'm going to really kick myself.
Yeah.
So I went with quiche.
What with a quiche? All eggs.
It was good. It was good quiche.
Yeah.
There's no salmon on it, so I stayed clear. But the thought went through my mind.
Yeah. I'm not a breakfast food guy.
I know you're not.
I know. It's just...
You don't like, yeah.
I mean, that's why it's like, hey, what sounds great? Steak. Because that sounds a lot better than, anything else, really.
That's fair. But anyway, so back to your example that you're given.
Yes. Yeah.
This was a long-winded way of getting around to this example. If the threat of being rude is there in a foreign country with people that go sideways,
You're right. You're willing to.
I'll probably take a bite.
You'll take a bite, but not because it's going to make your tum-tum upset.
No.
It's more of you have.
But that was my example.
You're apprehensive about.
I was being polite, and I knew the ramifications.
You didn't have to. If I'm grilling too.
I know there was ramifications.
You don't want salmon?
Because she made salmon specifically. She made salmon
specifically for you.
No, just specifically for us coming over.
Yeah.
Everything. So I was like, I'll try a little bit. I was putting myself
at risk
to be polite.
Okay.
So yes, of course I would do that. But I also think it's an important distinction to understand that if we're in a place that eats dogs, chances are they've killed 25,000 or 24,000 fucking people.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're probably a little more. There's probably a little more muscle.
Azerbaijan, there's probably
We're not eating Paris
Hilton's
Hilton's Chihuahua.
Yeah,
maybe we are.
I don't know. Well, no, and I wonder how many of those is like a horde of dogs.
Yeah,
and how much of it's not just like a dog, a vicious Cujo situation. It's actually just a herd of dogs.
No, these are just wild animal dogs.
Yeah.
Which I feel
free-range dogs.
Free-range dogs. Free-range dogs. And that's the kind you want, right? That's what you want.
That's a show title if I've ever heard it.
Cage-free, free-range dogs. Mm-hmm. That's what you want.
Yeah. So I just think going back to the initial
free.
Well, there's no way to know.
There's no promises there.
Yeah.
There's no promises there.
But going back to the initial, like with our buddies.
Yes.
Crazy second ex-wife.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of qualifiers for that.
Right.
She was unable to put herself in this situation. I'm trying to put myself in to say that, like, this is not like a wild horse versus an equestrian horse are 2 completely different things.
Sure.
Or
I'm guessing like horse that is like raised for meat as well.
Correct. Yeah, like a cow.
I mean, because
free-range horse.
Free-range horse. I mean, because also you wouldn't want them to be too tough, right? You don't want it. Well, you don't want an old horse. You want something that's young.
Do you think if Costner ate a horse on Yellowstone, or people would be like, I think I want to try that now?
There's so many horse restaurants in Montana.
Wow, if Costner did it, then
listen.
There's just one fancy one that's called ... Of course.
No.
No, come on, that's next level pun for you.
Puns are supposed to be for Denny's and small mom and pop diners. They are not supposed to be for high end horse eating. Okay, you don't make puns at a high end horse eating restaurant. Okay,
It's a high end pun though.
it's not a high end pun. ...
Of course.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I know.
I get it.
It's got him. He's going.
Got cold rolling. That's all that matters, I guess, huh? No. Oh,
sorry.
That's great, right?
Hey, I don't like puns, for starters. Let's get that out of
That
the
was
way.
funny as shit. I'm sorry.
But also, I just don't like. Puns in high-end restaurants, they don't go together. I don't like that.
I think they do now. When we're bringing a whole new meat source to America, I feel like we're bringing it back.
Well, you gotta do it lightly. You can't make light of the situation.
That's what the ... .'s for.
It has to be serious.
We're not calling it horse, of course.
Yeah,
we're
I know.
calling it ... Of course.
It's got to be. It's serious. This
You
is
gotta
serious
stop,
business.
man. You gotta stop.
Eating horse is serious business in the States. That's all I'm saying.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you can get away with. People don't realize it. It's like a Indiana Jones secret menu.
No, I think you. Oh no, you got to say that you're eating horse. If you don't label it as horse in the description,
I'm not saying that. No, I'm
Yeah,
saying
'cause
there's an off menu.
because that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
I'm not saying you're not going to mislead the customer. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's going to be implied by the ... That it's wink wink nudge nudge. The horse is there if you want it.
It's in the description though that it's horse, right? Because you have to. Otherwise, some lady's gonna order it and she's gonna say, "By the way, what was this?
It's off menu.
Is this?
It's not on menu.
It's not on the menu.
It's a normal high end restaurant. It's just called ... Of course. And if you
Hold
know
on, the name of the restaurant's ... Of course.
yes, that's what Cole is.
Oh, I thought it was just a menu item.
No. The whole restaurant is called ... Of
course.
And people just call it of course.
And it's
But what are the ... Dots for? Well, if you know, you know.
it's literally just 4 tables, like 4 high tops.
Yeah.
And there's one dude who's just in there. Just
Kevin
loving it.
Costner.
Costner.
Yeah,
Costner
Costner.
just fucking loves it. I don't know why. I just keep coming back. I don't, hold on, I gotta get my.
He leans
Costner
over
voice.
to every table. He's like, "You got to get the special."
You gotta.
How did Cole get the joke before you got the joke?
Well, no, I got the joke that it's
That the restaurant's name.
right. I thought it was a menu item,
Okay.
which still, yes,
Yeah. It's
I'm
a
looking
much
to-
better name for a restaurant than a menu
yes,
item.
yes,
Item. Yes.
okay. All
But going back to your,
once again, it's a back alley with 4 high tops.
it can be a secret door all day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a trap door if you want.
I got a good speakeasy that serves horse.
I'm in Billings, Montana.
But if you think about when
Sling blade
horse
over
was
there?
being eaten,
Yes,
I
yeah.
mean, it wasn't like, because I've always thought, or I guess I've recently thought, like if I had to kill the animals I've eaten, I think we've
Yeah.
actually talked about this on the podcast. I know
You'd-
you would
Yeah,
kill anything. You'd have no problem.
You'd have a hard time with that.
I'd have a hard time with a cow. I don't think I could kill a cow.
Yeah,
I could kill a chicken, no problem.
every
I'd
day.
eat a lot of fish, and I think maybe I could get to a pig, maybe.
You
But-
line up ducks and goose for me, geese.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd fucking kill
that's why I was gonna
I'd kill the fuck out of those motherfuckers.
give the question to Cole because we know
Goat?
you would
Goat?
kill anything.
Goat.
Oh, I'd have a hard time with
where's
goat.
goat? Where's goat on your line? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'd have a hard time with goat.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm. It's a free for all over here.
Yeah. I know it's a free for all. Yes, I know it's 100%.
Yeah, no.
Anything.
Anything
Human
goes.
might be on
Yeah.
the list. For you, I don't know.
Listen, it depends on how far into this you're going. I don't think I'd kill.
Well, that's how far we're
a
going.
person.
I don't think I would kill a person.
I don't think I'd kill a person.
I was trying to wrap my head around killing a pig. He's trying to get his head around a human.
I couldn't. I don't think I could kill a person. But once again, if it's the alive situation or whatever, or the Donner Party.
The cannibalistic survival.
Hey, listen, they're dead. It's fine. I don't want to do this, but this is between me and making it out.
Is there a restaurant we can make around that where it's all about survival?
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't have to think about
Brought to you by CBS.
I don't know. Some restaurant. I mean,
that. Yeah,
because did you watch the menu?
I did watch the menu.
Yeah.
I don't remember if there's any
There's-
full on cannibalism.
No, there's no cannibalism. But I was
No.
just trying to think of Like if you had a restaurant that slowly starved you and made it a survival thing, kind of like that.
Yeah,
but,
kind of like, yeah.
But your last remaining choice was to eat a human.
Right.
And that's the price of admission. 4 tables, 4 high tops again. That's
Once
it.
again, 4 high tops.
And that's it.
That's it.
And then it's just,
Yeah.
how long could you
I know,
wait?
once again, I don't think I could kill to eat another person, but
That might be a fun take on like the most dangerous game.
in a survival. Yeah,
In a restaurant?
It would get boring real quick.
I don't know. There's a lot of nooks and crannies in a restaurant.
Not
Is
with,
there a lazy?
not with 4 high tops. We're talking about a small brick room here, dude.
So, so we know your answer to the
Yeah.
question. Cole, what is your answer to the question? If you had to kill only the animals that you ate, what would those animals be?
I think I could kill a pig.
Yeah.
Definitely like poultry for sure. Like, I
Chicken?
wouldn't have-
Birds
chicken
in general?
and Birds in general, yeah.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
not real.
Cows.
I'd have a hard time with a duck. I'll tell you
Cows
that.
would be hard, and also I think to quantify it, what am I using? If I
Yeah. Do you got a bolt gun or not?
if I have a gun, then it's a little easier than
No, I mean, it's weapon of choice, but it's your
splitting
guilt
a
is the real
hog's
question.
throat. You know what I
No,
mean?
it's,
Like
it's
yeah.
bolt gun all day. Come on, guys. Yeah, what's a bolt? Are you asking what's a bolt gun?
No, I know what a
Okay.
bolt gun is. I'm
Okay.
just, I love that. Like, we know you're a sociopath. We
It's-
get
no,
it.
it's time tested.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I've said 3 times now already. We know your answers. I'm directing it at Cole so we can get answers from him because he's got what's called empathy. So we're trying to figure this out.
Could not kill a dog.
Yeah.
So here's a real Dyersville, Iowa.
There you go. Okay. His hometown.
As compared to
I've had
Dyersville,
buddies kill each other's dogs
Guadalajara.
for them. Like the dog needs to be put down.
Yeah.
And instead of
Yeah.
the owner having to do it, they have someone come over and take the dog behind the barn. And
Oh yeah.
They old yellered the dog.
yes, essentially.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Have you ever old
I've
yellered,
never old
yellered
a dog. No. Nope.
That's surprising.
No. I've been in the room when it's been put down.
Yeah.
The other one, like a childhood dog of mine.
I thought that was going to go
You
a different
had
direction.
dogs as a child?
Yeah, so
I'm
we had
shocked by this.
we had a husky named Jasmine.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you
And
learned something
Well,
new.
it was just there. It was just an outside dog. It's not like I'm out there playing with it, like being my best friend. No, I did not pick up
Wow.
this dog.
He really doesn't like dogs. Can't
and
even
then
make friend with a
we-
dog they have.
We had two rat terriers.
You sure about that?
One was named Scruff, which was ran over by a tractor right in front of me. Yep.
This explains the sociopath.
And the other one was called Anthrax. I don't remember what happened to Anthrax.
Who named that one?
Not me. I didn't get a chance to name any dogs.
He got mailed away.
I don't remember what happened to Anthrax. But no, yeah.
Do you know who named Anthrax?
I think it was my brother. Yeah.
Was it named after the band or
It was
the
named
substance?
after. It was named after the band because that was
Big
like
Scott Ian fan.
just I'm the Man was like really big in our house. I don't know.
Sure, dude.
I don't know why, but just it really was.
God, this is really painting a picture, isn't it, Cole?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm learning so much right now.
No, yeah, Scruff got ran over by a tractor right in front of us because it was chasing after it
Shouldn't
for no
laugh at
reason.
I always worry about that because, again, people on a farm, and I know
Yeah.
you weren't on a farm, you were on like a hobby farm, but
Yeah,
still had farm-like tendencies.
no, yeah,
Dogs on a farm get way too close to fucking vehicles
no, and
all
it's-
the time.
He's just sitting there like running alongside the tractor, barking at the guy who's a neighbor who was going up to his parcel up the street, and just like sitting there like barking as he's going along. And then it's like, yeah, you got caught. What are you doing? What was your end goal, dog, of this Scruff, the magic dog? What were you doing?
Was that his full
yeah,
Christian name?
Yeah, so it was like for some reason my older brothers made a parody song to Puff the Magic Dragon.
Called Scruff the Magic Dog.
Yeah.
I
Lived in
love that.
Lived in a box
Rest in peace, Scruff.
and frolicked in the autumnness of our old garage. Yeah, that's
This is real.
yeah, this is real. Yeah.
Sure, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they write an ending to the song when he got ran over by a tractor?
Yeah, I used it as like I had a poetry project in sixth grade.
You're blowing my mind.
And I'm like, I'm just gonna repurpose this, and I made some bullshit about him like going off into the great beyond, just to get an ending to it.
Just to really tie that bow.
Yeah, it's like, yep.
Yeah.
And not that. I love
When are you
that.
going to release that as your manifesto?
As my manifesto, we'll see. We'll see how the rest of 2037. As I was
Nice.
going over my star charts, that was the one that seemed right. But
Oh, nice.
we'll see. I'm not sure.
I'm
I'm not going to give any definitiveness to that, but it feels right.
Well, I've learned a lot, and you describing the whimsical tale of Scruff.
Yeah.
Scruff the what? The magical pup.
Doggy. Scruff the magic dog.
Scruff the magic dog. So my wife and I believe it was 2 years ago now.
Yes.
We took a road trip. We just took a road trip. We were just going to drive until we didn't want to drive anymore.
Okay.
And we did this as our vacation. We didn't have time to really plan anything, so we just kind of drove. We got into beautiful middle of nowhere fucking Tennessee, and we stopped to get breakfast.
Okay.
And all along the way, we were seeing these signs for like RV parks and campgrounds and shit like that.
Yes.
And a lot of billboards
Okay.
in Tennessee. And so we stopped at this one place and we asked the lady, I'm like, hey, what's up with all these RV parks? Are they like, is there anyone around? She recommended this one that we ended up going to and we ended up staying. But we pulled in to get to the place and then they only took cash. Okay.
Don't like that.
Well, middle of Tennessee, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had to go into town and to get
Cash.
get cash from the
Yes.
bank. And so as we're driving out of this place, there is 2 dogs just in the middle of the road. And it's, they're back roads. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. This is not a highway or shit like that. And
That's why I couldn't find it.
it was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So these 2 dogs are just there in the middle of the road. And
Yeah.
my wife is just like, just drive. They'll get out of the way. I'm like, I hope. But we're at the beginning of the vacation. I really don't
Yes.
want to run over 2 dogs, to start the trip,
That's not the good way to start a trip. No.
It doesn't feel
Yeah.
right,
Right.
She's like, well, they'll get out of the way. They'll get out of the way. I'm like, I'm okay. So I start driving and they, they're just holding their ground. And they're big. They're pit bulls. I mean, they're legit muscle-bound dudes, of dogs.
Yeah.
And these dogs, they're holding their ground. They're barking. I start driving. I stop seeing them, So I'm like,
They're that close
they're
to the
that
hood.
close to
Yeah.
me, right? And so I'm like stopped, because I'm like, I don't want to run over them. I'm looking out and I start like roll down my window to like, get out of here, blah, 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 blah. They are not intimidated at all, by the way.
You honking? Are you honking?
I start.
Okay.
All
right.
But they are like, I'm worried that they're going to start biting the tires.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's how close I got.
Yeah.
I've never been more scared by 2 fucking dogs in my life where I
I
still
could
didn't
be
get
one
to,
of the 45.
I didn't get to the point where I'm like, I'll kill them.
Yeah.
Like I'll drive over and fuck them. I don't care. I mean, I got a little bit to that, but that's about as close as I got to being like, Jesus Christ. And like every time when we had to drive back to the place or like drive into town to get supplies, I'm like, where are those fucking dogs? Like
Those dogs
keeping
there at all?
those dogs are predators.
Yeah.
So going back to that $25,000
they're-
25,000 number.
They're one of the 45 that they've killed one.
Oh yeah,
of
absolutely,
the
without a
45
doubt.
people.
Without a doubt.
A lot of it's rabies related. A lot of the deaths were,
Sure.
which makes sense.
Okay.
But I mean, that's
But
still
still.
someone getting bit. and
Aggressive packs of dogs, though. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the whole thing.
That control most of the Midwest.
Frightening.
Yeah, that's Tennessee, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
lawless country.
Yeah. Oh no. So,
So-
did you have a good time in Tennessee?
Yeah, we always have a good time in Tennessee.
You always have a good time in Tennessee?
Tennessee's lovely.
Is it?
Have you spent time in Tennessee?
Not really. I mean, outside of our
Knoxville.
that work trip that we took to Knoxville. No, not really.
Tennessee's very similar to Iowa. It's really nice.
How
I mean,
so?
A lot of same type of people, same landscape. A lot,
A lot of wild dogs.
lot of wild dogs.
Yeah.
In my experience, like too many wild dogs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, how many?
Too many wild dogs.
Too many wild
Yeah.
dogs.
Every other dog's fine. There's just these 2 sons of bitches.
So, what do you do when you see a dog off the leash here in town? What do you do?
I wish that pet owner was more responsible and kept him.
You don't do anything. You don't stop what you're doing and try
So
to.
just say, hey there, buddy.
Yeah. What in context of what?
I don't know.
Am I driving around? Am I walking around? Do I have my dog with me?
Are you walking like? Well, yeah.
Because if I have my dog, then I'm going to cross the street because I don't want my dog to.
How
get
about this?
into
You're exiting your
kerfuffle.
exiting your house, and there's just a loose dog. What are you doing?
I've pulled dogs off the middle of the street and held them, and then all of a sudden, owner just comes
Just
walking up.
coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about a stray dog like
Yeah.
walking around.
Well, no, I don't know if it's a stray dog. It's just a dog loose. No handler happening.
If you see a collar, I'd usually
if there's a collar. I mean, this is my 39th year on this planet.
Yeah.
2 years ago was the first time I ever ran into two dogs where I thought, like, holy shit, something could happen.
Something
here.
can happen to you.
These dogs could bite my tires.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not saying like it.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious.
I'm usually cautious with the dog. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
in that situation.
I
but
respect the dog.
Yeah, it's never. I'm usually
Yeah. You're not going up and kicking it. Yeah.
also I'm never
Petting
afraid,
it.
which helps too. Yeah.
Cole and I pet dogs.
Yeah.
You kick dogs.
I don't
So-
kick dogs.
Okay.
I don't kick dogs.
All right. You
I'll,
should.
I'll defend myself against a dog.
Just old people.
I don't kick old people either.
I don't know about that.
You've never seen me kick an old person. Ever. No.
Because you're really good at it. You're really good at keeping it covert.
Really some of the best stealth. Old.
That's why we call you old hip breaker rebarder.
He's the Bruce Lee of kicking people. Just done.
Get on out of here. Get.
Bernice.
Burn.
I'm just trying to think of a quick old
Yeah,
one.
that's an old lady.
Gerald, get out of here.
Gerald's an old. That's a go-to.
Yeah.
They're a huge strain on our economy. Pow!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Old people.
So you've never spent time in Tennessee?
No, not really. No.
Good. It's nice.
Maybe I'll make a trip. I don't know. Who's to say?
It's fun. I mean, of course, we lived in Nashville for a
Yeah.
while, and that was, Nashville's one of those places that is growing at a rate that the infrastructure cannot handle.
There's no way that it can handle it.
And
Right.
it's cities need to start building up instead of out. Nashville's a good city that probably should start doing that.
Start like having some substantial like condos and lofts get put in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, there's still the interesting thing about that is, it probably takes out 45 minutes to an hour to get outside of like Nashville, quote unquote, proper.
Sure.
With all the suburbs and urban
Yeah,
sprawl that's
yeah.
happening. But once you get out of there, you get a couple exits off the freeway where you're like, holy shit, where the fuck are we?
You're in the middle of nowhere.
Now you're in the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
again. And, they're like, yep, you can go yonder and get that way. But because when we left Tennessee, I forget even the place that we were at, what the town was called.
Yeah.
We're like, we're gonna drive to Cincinnati. We're gonna watch a baseball game, and then we'll spend the night in Cincinnati, and we'll
Did
drive.
you
the rest
actually
of the
do
way.
that?
We started, and then realized how fucking wrong the map was about how long it took to get to Cincinnati. There was also a weird time change as well, but that's
Because Cincinnati does not follow.
Cincinnati. I believe is in the Eastern time zone, and
Is there one? Are they one of those that does not follow daylight savings? Am I correct? Like,
that's a shitty Jamie question.
yeah. Am I correct in that? I feel like there's something goofy also with that.
If I remember correctly, it was right on the Eastern time zone line. Like we would
Yes.
we'd be in it and then out of it and then in it and out of it.
Yeah,
And
that's
we
a
were going
problem.
through windy roads and shit like
Yeah.
that. It's just
Beautiful
You get to some
Ohio
places,
River Valley. You know,
we get to some places in Kentucky. In Kentucky,
Kentucky. Yeah.
there's a lot of places in Kentucky where you're just like, you better just keep going.
You're not from around here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cole, what do you got for us?
Hawaii and Arizona.
Fuck.
Yeah. I think what you're thinking of is it's just like right on.
It's
it.
right on. It's right on the board.
Yeah.
Because I remember this story. Because you would have ended up getting there when you left. It was right, and then when you got there, it would be wrong
Correct.
or something about that.
Yes.
Because you wanted to catch like a night game.
I believe we wanted to catch like this. If we left early and we didn't drink too much the night before, we could have gotten up and gotten there by like the 1 o'clock start.
Okay.
But
yeah.
we might have still just been late to the game as well. But
Sure.
Then we were like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's go to, I think, did we go to Louisville, Kentucky?
Louisville, Kentucky,
Louisville, yes. Where the,
birthplace of George Clooney.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Don't
where,
ask me why.
yeah, I can tell you why. but-
I know.
no, that's where we ended up going. So, and spent a weird Sunday night. And
Weird Sunday night in Kentucky.
In
Also,
Louisville.
because it was not like they weren't really happening. There wasn't a lot going on.
correct.
Like Kentucky shuts down.
Very much
On a
Bible,
Sunday?
not Bible Belt, but Bible Beltish.
Yeah, because I remember going when we came back from that work trip from Knoxville. We're a big fan of Yingling beer,
Yes.
and it was the idea of like before we head back home to the place where they don't sell Yingling,
Yes.
let's load the fuck up. And it was literally we're like, okay, all right, let's stop here. It's a gas station. Let's load up here. And it was like, no, we don't sell. We don't sell on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, fuck. Okay, all right, that's fine. I remember we ended up going to some liquor store in Indiana.
Yes.
Yeah.
We ended up going, well, that's the whole, I love bringing up the band Florida Georgia Line. That's where that whole little saying comes from.
You are a huge fan of Florida Georgia Line.
I am not, but I do bring that band up way too much.
Do you remember the most famous band from Kentucky from last week?
The most famous band from Kentucky. It's a callback. The most famous band from Kentucky, is it?
Remember, we had the whole conversation on whether or not they were a hippie festival band, and
My Morning Jacket.
Built to
yes,
Spill.
yes, that is.
My Morning Jacket.
Yeah.
Built to Spill was Idaho.
Oh, right.
And
Yes.
that's why everyone should go to Business Insider. Not to learn about the insides of business, but just to remember about clickbait articles.
They're good for it.
Now that I'm into it, it's like the Nappy Roots and Cage the Elephant came from there too. And I'm like,
There's a whole scene.
From Kentucky or Idaho?
Can you
Kentucky.
pull back up that the dog stat? Because if you can find that article about the animals that kill the most people, worldwide,
I'd be curious about that.
because I cannot remember the number one,
Yeah.
but I know the number one was surprising.
Up too soon.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Someone's going to lose their car seat.
Right. It's like, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's not, they don't sell beer. They don't sell beer. They don't. It's like, eventually I ended up in fucking Gary, Indiana. Because I'm like, all right, this is it. Last stop. Let's see if we can make this work. And it's like, I had no idea how much of a hellscape Gary, Indiana was. And literally, so like, I'm like, all right, we need to get gas. So, all right, we need to get gas anyway. So let's go. We'll stop and get gas, and I'll run in and see if there's any there. And
Did you take the business route, or were you just getting off highway?
I just got off the highway.
Ooh,
It's
man.
just like, and I was like, oh, they don't sell. Oh, you guys don't sell beer here. Okay, all right, they don't sell beer at this gas station. That's fine. Literally a block and a half away, another gas station. I'm like, okay, all right, sure, that's fine. Oh, they don't sell beer here either. And once again, and this happened to me one time as a child, we were driving through Chicago, and we were going through the rough neighborhood in Chicago as my father.
Just the one.
Yeah, well, and rough neighborhood. And my dad's like, I've been through a lot of bad neighborhoods, but I always get nervous when they start looking back. Or when they start staring at me. That's when I know that I'm not. I'm definitely not somewhere I'm supposed to be.
And who's the they in this situation?
Well, I'm not staring at them, but when they're staring at when the locals are staring at you,
there you go.
You know that you're not supposed to be there.
Now you've saved the plane.
Yeah.
All right. You've caught a draft. Now you're back in the air.
and that was definitely happening.
Yeah.
Like with the two gas stations I stopped in. And then,
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
How many white women did you see walking around by themselves?
Not a single one.
And that's going to be a problem.
That's
See,
not-
my one rule of thumb is if you're in a place and you see white women walking around by themselves, you're fine.
That's okay.
As soon as you stop seeing white women walking around, and there's no implication to any of the race, or gender, or anything like that,
Yeah.
it's just the absence of white women walking around, you could be in trouble.
The amount of stoplights that were non-functioning, and I'm not saying flashing reds or yellows, I'm saying just out, and no temporary stop sign out. I'm
Bulbs out since '96.
yeah, and just everything just crumbling around.
We'll get to it.
Just crumbling all over the place. I'm like, oh, well, this is not good at all.
Yeah.
And it's and then it's at that point, I'm like, oh, there's a liquor store, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna stop here. It's fine. We'll figure it out. And I'm like, oh, hey, look, there's a little suburb south of Gary, Indiana. I'll just
Suburbs of Gary,
Indiana. And I'm like, there's a full-on grocery store. We'll go there. That's fine.
Have you been to South Gary? It's really nice.
It's but driving through the whole city was frightening to the point where my wife's like, I am not going to hyperventilate, but I'm very close to this is I am on
That's why we
edge.
need Joe Jackson as sheriff.
We need Joe Jackson as sheriff.
He's dead, by the way, though.
The ghost of Joe Jackson
That's
as sheriff.
terrifying.
Because there's no rules. He's a ghost.
He's
he
a
can
ghost.
kind of do whatever he wants.
The switch still hurts.
Oh, he did whatever he wanted anyway. So
Yeah.
So it was the most unnerving thing I ever did. We ended up going to a grocery store in all the way like south side of Gary, and it was
South Gary.
it was, my wife was like, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of like low level frightening.
What time of day is this?
Oh, it's like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, you got that going for you.
It's daylight, for sure. So it was, once again, the amount of stoplights that were just completely dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is.
When you feel like you can't stop at any of the stoplights or stop signs and you're supposed to roll through them, like when you start seeing people do that, that's when you're like, oh, okay, there's a reason
And just
why.
and it was
And
like,
you do have a big red target.
yeah. And well, also like, just in a lot of cool signs. There's just like a lot of cool, like old, I'm like, oh, that's a cool sign.
Because
That's
nothing's been touched since
nothing's
1972.
been touched, and it's just been like let rot.
As soon as the Jackson 5 left, it was like, well, what do we do now?
And just like, oh, hey, that's a really like a gigantic old high school that's right along the drag. And I'm like, oh, look at that. That's a really like, and that's just full on just disintegrating. There used to be like, it was a like Discovery or History Channel. Like, what happens with all the Earth? All the humans for some reason just got raptured out of nowhere, right? What would happen?
Isn't that Jesus' thing?
No, no. Jesus did not proclaim the rapture.
He didn't?
No, he did not. Anyhow, so it was just like talking about like how nature taking over the world and replacing everything that humanity has built, and how long would it take before the last remnants of like human society was overtaken and destroyed by nature. You can see that right now.
Oh, there's a museum in Gary, Indiana.
In Gary, Indiana.
Called Gary, Indiana.
It's just like a living experiment of that. And it was frightening.
That's a bold move by the Chamber of Commerce. Like, guys, we're going to do a living memoriam to what would happen if humans were raptured.
And my thing is like, okay, why isn't like a giant tech company just coming in here with $1 billion and just buying the entire city and just completely, you're that close to Chicago. It's not going to get it's going to be a lot cheaper than Chicago. Why aren't you just coming over and just buying the entire city of Gary, Indiana? It would be so cheap.
Tech companies cannot exist where Yingling is sold. I'm pretty sure
Is
that's
that a rule?
And the lack of white women would probably. Actually, the lack of white women probably is a feather in their cap.
It's a plus.
Did you find that list?
So, do you have a guess, Nathan?
As far as frightening,
can we go top five, or what do you want to do? Top five or top
I'm going to
three?
say right now, hippos have to be on this list.
They are towards the bottom.
Aw.
They're toward. Hold on, let me pull up the. hold on one second.
Get the game show noises ready to go.
They are on the list.
They're on the list. Okay, can I get some parameters of this list? It's top.
Yeah.
Hippos are about 500 people a year.
Well,
what's the like? How many like? Is this the top 20?
I speak fluent Cole.
Yeah.
What's the article titled?
This is from 3 different sources, so I'm going to go off of CNET.
Okay.
But the Wikipedia
It's no
has
Business Insider. but-
3 sources. BBC News has them as their 7th at 500 people a year.
Okay.
But there's a ton of the other ones have a ton of other animals that.
So as far as ranking goes, it's the top.
Number 1 is across the board. Let's put it that way.
Okay. No questions about it.
Where's hippos at?
I would say not on the list, honestly.
Oh,
Not in
okay.
the top 10.
So
Out of the
you
top
get it.
Sure. Hippos will fucking kill you, though.
They will.
They will, yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna scorpions.
They are kind of classified in a subgroup, but that's
Insects.
not the top answer.
Okay.
No. We're going top 5.
What would you classify
Well,
them
this is
in?
where I ask you to find the article.
Well, they're an insect, not an animal.
But what kind of insect?
Okay, this is getting off the rails.
yeah.
What's the number? We'll guess the number 1.
So number 1, I'm gonna go and say snakes.
That is close, but not correct.
Okay. All right. Number 1 most
I'll give you one more guess because I saw.
elephants.
No.
Now, this is not the same article that I looked at,
Yeah. Okay.
so I'm gonna throw it out there. Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes is the number 1 answer.
See, I don't know if that's
Put it on the
that's-
body, yes.
That's not an animal.
Why?
Huh? Because they're an insect.
It's an insect.
By quite a bit.
But
by quite a bit.
The number was staggering.
Because it's malaria and dengue
and
fever
that's
and
when
all
I
that
said
stuff.
that it'll surprise you, but it won't.
Yeah.
Like
What's number 2?
Well, I'm
Wolves.
not going to classify this. Like, we'll skip past this one, but it's humans is number 2. I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
bullshit.
Guessing
that's
about
bullshit.
25% of that is in
Let's
Gary
get to
Indiana.
that good. Yeah. Let's get to that solid dog
Ghost
stats.
of Joe Jackson's so sad.
Make the switch.
But at number 2,
Okay.
already been said.
Snakes,
Snakes is number 2.
Snakes is number 2.
venomous.
Fuckers hiding your shoes.
And then number 4.
That's why you wear sandals.
Number 4, oh golly. I'm gonna say
You would have no problem killing this animal.
dog.
We said dogs
Are
already.
we doing dogs
The
again?
dogs is number 3.
No
Okay.
shit, dogs.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
I knew the number was big, but
Okay.
fucking dogs, man.
Okay. Then I think we got to go the opposite. It's a big cat. It's a lion. Also, I just watched Ghost in the Darkness, starring Val Kilmer.
And I don't think we need to go through the whole list, but
No.
every other animal is bug related.
Well, this is horse shit.
Wait, what about sharks?
Sharks is
Sharks
not in the
barely,
top 10.
They don't kill hardly anybody, man.
I lived in Florida. I think I know. Okay.
Snails, assassin bugs,
A snap.
This is not the same article.
Is this CNET?
tapeworms,
Oh
is
my
it
gosh.
spelled SEA net?
No.
Or is
Business
this-
Insider, and
Oh.
CNET. Yeah.
Well, at least you have one reputable source.
Which one's which? Are you looking at 2 web pages at the same time?
I'm looking at Wikipedia.
Oh.
You do always say to look at Wikipedia.
Well,
is the problem.
No, because it's too nuanced.
Anyway, we can take
Yeah.
away from it that dogs kill a lot more people in the world.
In the world, not here in the
Then
United States.
Us here, Americans, want to.
Americans were safe
And the
dogs.
the largest large animal that would kill people are bears.
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 Yeah.
Bears.
Okay.
Can we look up bear deaths in America?
Real talk.
Yeah, let's talk bear talk.
Real talk. Okay.
It's bear talk?
Bear talk. We're gonna take this one at a time.
Okay.
Okay. Black bear. You got in between a black bear and its baby cub, right? A mama bear, right?
Yeah.
What's your over under?
Oh, me surviving?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a tough one. I don't like my chances.
Yeah.
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 How close is water?
I don't know. What, you gonna swim?
I don't know.
Are you a good swimmer?
I'm a fight or flight, I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right. I mean, like, because there's always, guys always think that they could beat Serena Williams in a tennis match.
This is a hard left turn you're taking.
I know,
here right
I know,
now.
but also
Yeah.
like the amount of guys who think that they could survive a bear attack as well. Like, and I am one of those. I'm like, I think I could.
You think you could both survive a bear attack
I-
and
no,
beat
not-
Serena Williams
No,
in tennis?
because I've never really played tennis, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give her that.
You'll give her that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You can't even just acknowledge.
I'm sure she would.
She would destroy me. Now the question is like, how much training would it take for me to beat Serena Williams, or score a point on Serena Williams? That's
I don't think you would ever score a point on her.
Yeah, I think that's going to be about 5 years of your life to have a chance to get it
to
over
get
net.
it. Oh, come on, not to get it. I could get it over the net right now. Come on,
I think
I'm coordinated.
college friends that I had that played tennis would
Yeah.
struggle to score a point against Serena Williams.
I'm curious
So,
about this, but anyway, I don't think I could beat Serena Williams. That's laid to bed. Could I survive a bear attack? Can I fend off a bear?
These are two wildly different
No, it's
things,
like-
and like you just jump to.
No, it's like these are like 2 things that just like
I understand your through line, but
Yeah.
can you just like they seem so both at the ends of the spectrum?
overconfidence in your abilities of what you could do, and there's a lot of people say
Do you
that,
feel that your match with Serena Williams will have the same fight or flight
yes,
like results that
oh
the bear
yeah.
attack
She's
will have?
intense, dude. She's intense. No, I think.
What
that
about Venus Williams?
Venus Williams? Not so much. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now Michelle Williams, that's 1,000%.
I think Michelle Williams would beat you in tennis. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What sport does Michelle Williams play?
She doesn't. She's a commentator. She's like a commentator. She doesn't like. She's not an athlete.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Michelle. Yeah, Michelle Williams. Like
The Dawson's Creek actress.
No,
Yeah.
the.
And that's who I was saying would beat you in tennis because I totally,
that-
totally believe that.
I
No,
believe
there's
that
no.
1,000%.
She's a black lady. Michelle Williams. She's like a commentator. She's like she might have been on The View. I can't remember. Anyhow, it
Well,
doesn't
you know
matter.
how much I love The View.
You do love The View.
So-
Here's ever since Barbara left, it's not. It's never.
Babs. We call her Babs in this house.
Oh, you don't call Barbara Walters Babs.
In this house, we do.
That's weird. Babs is specifically Barbra Streisand. And
Not since she fucking ratted out her own house. Sorry, it's done.
that's yeah. So do you think you could you take on a bear?
I couldn't take on a bear. I would think my escape chances of a bear, I would put at probably 20%.
You think you could outrun a bear?
No, God
Okay.
no.
All right.
No, I'm talking. That's why I asked about the water.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm
So
looking
you're
for
gonna swim?
outs. If there's water, I'm gonna get in the water. I'm gonna
Okay.
try to swim. Because I like my chances of maneuvering, especially if there's a current. Like, I would rather take on a waterfall than to try to outrun a bear.
All of a sudden, there's a waterfall in the scenario.
I don't know. Is this a
I'm
river
gonna-
runs through it?
I'm just
Maybe.
gonna. I'm gonna hop in the stream and hope that I end up in a waterfall.
Hope that I end up
to
in
get
water.
away from this bear.
If there is a body of water with a heavy flowing current close to me, I'm
Yeah.
hopping in that water quick.
Yeah.
And that bear, hopefully he's just gonna look like, that's not worth it. It's not worth
Okay.
it.
All right.
I'm gonna. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll let that salmon go. And he looks at me.
Yeah, I know I can.
And then as soon as I know I'm good, I'm gonna look at that bear. I'm gonna flip him off and say, "Fuck you, bear."
I know I couldn't take on a grizzly bear.
You guys
or
are
a polar bear.
describing the plot of Wild America, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Sweet,
Okay.
nice. I'm glad.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, come on, you guys watch that movie?
No.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely not.
No, when you were 12, we were 16. So
Yeah. No,
you were 20.
I was 16.
When are you turning 70?
When I'm turning 70,
Yeah.
I turn 70 here in 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't take on a grizzly bear or a polar bear.
Oh, so this is specific to the bear too?
Yeah, I mean, but a black bear and a brown bear?
Have you seen a bear in the wild? Have you actually seen
No.
a bear?
Like from a very far distance in Yosemite.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
They're pretty intimidating.
I'm gonna go ahead and say you're gonna die super hard.
No,
That's why I gave myself 80% chance of dying. You know, I'm going to give myself about 20% chance of
I think I
survival.
could take on a black bear for sure. I'm going to give myself 50-50 on that.
50-50.
Yeah.
The
Against the black bear?
success rate of
Against
divorce and a marriage.
Against the black bear? Yeah.
Against the black. Why is the bear got to be black?
Because the black bear, they're small. And they're not nearly as aggressive.
Local man dies today.
Yeah, we'll try to make this happen for the podcast.
Okay. It's fine. I mean, I've heard about bear wrestling. I know that it's very hard.
So what I'm assuming you've thought about this like
Yeah.
way too much.
Yeah.
What's your tactic?
It's all about the eyes.
Uh-huh.
The eyes in the throat. Try to get that.
So you're attacking the
aside.
bear.
Well, I mean, if we're like in a battle.
That wasn't you were in between the mother and the
Yeah.
cub. That's what you
Well,
stated.
and the bear starts charging me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm standing my ground. You know what I mean?
And you think that's going to intimidate the mother bear?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to
Because
like.
you
I'm gonna try to
at
get out of
5'9",
this situation.
how tall are you?
I'm 5'8". Thank you for being. That was generous of you.
Yeah.
It's the hair.
So 5'8".
Yeah.
What's Cole? We're gonna need to be quick on this here. What's the
Yeah.
average height of a female black
bear.
Okay.
Standing on its
standing
legs.
on its haunches.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say probably 6 foot.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'll go over. I'll just take the over.
You're gonna take the over on that. I think that black bears are pretty small. They're smaller.
Here
5 to 7 feet.
5 to 7.
5 to 7 feet.
So 6.
So what did I say?
You said 6.
I'm right in the middle.
Here's a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Between your wife and one of your children,
Yes.
do you think what are your chances of survival if she had the same mentality of a black bear?
Of a black bear
Sure.
or a brown bear or a polar bear, because they're very
All right,
different. And the grizzlies,
We'll keep
koala.
a black bear. What are your chances of survival versus your wife if you are a predator
Okay.
or you are deemed a threat
Oh,
between your wife? I'm trying to get at the maternal power.
I think it's 50-50. Yeah.
So you're giving your wife the same amount of ability to murder you
Yes.
as a black bear.
Oh, that's what you're saying? I thought you were saying, okay. I thought my wife had the power of a bear.
No.
Okay.
No.
I have delusional pulled up on Google, by the way.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like
It's
I said,
right there.
I mean,
And that's just because Google's been listening to you talk.
and I recognize the delusionalness of this, but I feel like there's a chance.
But-
I really do.
I kind of want to quantify
Okay.
what I'm talking about here because what I think you added the cub
Yeah.
being there.
Well, because
so
that's
now
you're
you're talking
one of the
about
only reasons that black bears attack. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, sure, and it's one of the only reasons white women do too. But the thing is, in between you and the cub, there is the maternal bond of survival, which is an X factor beyond the average height of a black bear or the weight or whatever they can crush or anything like that. There's an X factor of like lifting up, a giant wheel, like to get your baby, or lifting a car to
I like the
free
idea
your
of
baby.
giant wheel.
What monster truck?
It's just a giant wheel.
A monster truck. There was some daytime soap or some daytime talk show I watched as a child where the mom like lifted a giant wheel, like a monster truck wheel.
I mean, when adrenaline starts pumping.
So we're talking about the
Including in
same
bear
level.
attacks.
We're talking that. So you give your wife the same chances of killing you.
Like if I was
With maternal
if I was a
adrenaline.
legitimate threat,
Yeah.
somehow some kind of weird brain wipe happened.
Yeah.
My wife does not recognize who I am.
Yes.
And I'm between
Her and her
her
cub.
and her children.
Her cubs.
We call them cubs.
No, I would definitely.
You take her.
Yeah, I would be able to pummel most
Okay.
women. Yes, I think
Not Serena Williams, though.
No. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna listen. Serena Williams, and it's just a fact. It's just a fact.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Now, if it's a foot race, we might have a problem.
Okay. If it's just pure strength.
If it's just pure strength.
God, I wish China from WWF was still alive just to come and elbow you in the fucking face right now.
Listen, I'm not saying all women.
No,
absolutely not.
No, I gave specifically
Yeah,
your wife,
my wife,
in this situation because it seemed insane that
I would be
you're
able to.
giving her the same odds as a black bear.
Oh yeah, no, I would be able to.
But I'm trying to just quantify the
Yes.
maternal. I guess what do they have a name
That
for
X
that?
factor. That well, I mean, you're like the adrenaline rush of.
But there's got to be a
People,
clinical name.
There's been all kinds of people who have had supernatural, super strength situations when adrenaline hits.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a drug.
Maury has done many an episode on it, and I've
Really?
watched those as a child. That's where the wheel came in. That's where the wheel
There's
came
a wheel.
from.
It's a wheel.
And I'm pretty sure it was a mother that lifted like a wheel that was like 4 times her weight to like free her child
Oh, that's nice.
from it.
I mean, I believe that.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like we're giving, adrenaline is a superpower. I'm sure there has to be a clinical term as to what the maternal.
It's referenced in Rocket Man, if that helps.
It doesn't unless you have the information.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the information, then yes, it's
I
applicable.
mean, like superpowers with adrenaline hitting.
Yeah.
That's certainly there has been plenty of documented
Yeah.
experiences of that for sure.
So even if your wife has that, you're still
Even
taking,
with it,
you're taking her out.
Yeah. Yep. One good right hook. That's out the window.
The bear, though, are you punching the bear?
Yeah, I'm punching the bear right in the throat, in the eyes, all of it. I'm not saying I'm not going to come away without a scratch,
Unscathed.
unscathed. I am going to have massive hunks of my left forearm missing.
Are you swinging left?
No,
Or are you blocking left?
I'm blocking left. That bear's biting down, and I'm coming in hard right underneath the jaw into the eyeball. It's a whole thing.
Hysterical strength.
Hysterical strength. That was the name of my second band in high school.
Well,
And
I already thought we had a show title, but now I guess.
hysterical strength. That's the one.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. 50-50.
I would give myself 50-50 against a
I go
black bear.
20-80, but I'm running.
Yeah.
I'm running to water.
I think it's
I'll deal with the salmon later.
we're gonna try to move. We're gonna like circle around. We're not gonna like go head to head like full on. But
what about the pit bull technique of sticking your finger up its asshole?
that? I'm not familiar with. I'm not saying that's no. I'm the same thing. I'm going right for the eyes. I'm going right to the.
You've never heard of the
No.
pit bull technique?
Nope.
Not the rapper, but when the dog.
Mr. 305. If he starts attacking, you put your finger in his butt.
It might work for him too. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. But in my short time as a real estate agent, I had to show some places that had pit bulls in a cage, thankfully.
Yeah.
But my God,
They weren't free range.
I go back to
Cage-free.
I said those were the only 2 dogs in Tennessee that felt like they wanted to kill me. There's now that the post-traumatic stress of being a real estate agent is kicking in.
Yeah.
There's many other dogs that I'm like, we don't need to see that room. It's fine.
Oh no, there's just a dog in that room. You don't want any part of that.
That dog loves everyone that he knows and everyone else he wants to destroy. And so one of the things is if the dog is attacking you, you're
Yeah.
supposed to, or attacking a child or somebody else, you're supposed to stick your finger in the dog's asshole.
Who told you this?
Well, Cole can look it up, but
but who told you this specifically?
I cannot remember who exactly told me.
This was not part of your real estate training, though.
No, God,
It's just from Steve Irwin. I gotta ask.
not that I can remember.
Yeah, that feels like that's a Steve Irwin. Like you're misremembering portions
Jam my
of
thumb right up his ass. That'll really piss him off.
South Park.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is a thing. Okay, and both can be true. Yes, Steve Irwin had the thing on South Park, but as soon as Shitty Jamie can look it up here, he can find out that if you want to stop a pit bull from attacking, you stick your finger up its ass.
It said it's not actually true.
Aw,
Well, that's a lot of trial and error.
Bobby really wanted to.
Well, I don't want to get attacked by a pit bull.
He really wanted that to be the secret weapon.
Is this Business Insider?
I'm trying to imagine how you'd even manage to get your finger in the ass of an animal in the process of mauling you.
Well, it's mainly other people.
Pit bull's not that big.
It's mainly other people.
You can get
If
a
it's
reach
mauling
around on
other
a pit
people.
bull.
Sure enough, Steve Irwin. Now I'm going to sneak up behind the sleeping crocodile, stick my finger right up his bung. That'll really piss him off.
Yeah. By the way, crocodiles and alligators have cloacas, so do with that information as you will. It's not a full on rectum. Damn near killed him.
We were talking about pit bulls, though.
Yeah.
We weren't talking about that.
Yeah, I think you can be able to reach around. It's not that they're not that big.
I feel it was in a movie and something, too.
In a movie,
yeah.
then you know it's true.
Of course. Of course.
Come
Hey,
on.
speaking of movies, did you guys watch any more of your movies?
Nope.
You suck. You guys all
Nope.
suck.
I'm working on it.
Cole?
I was watching Mighty Ducks all week. I'm sorry.
No, I don't feel like a piece of shit. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm gonna get to them. Don't worry.
No, that's fine.
When are the Academy Awards, by the way?
March 10th. Sunday, March 10th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're right around the corner.
So
Tomorrow's,
they're right around the corner.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'm not gonna get that in the next week because I think I actually will have to go to a theater to watch Poor Things. I think that's.
Oh, have they done that?
Yeah, they're showing. It's showing in the theater still, so it's like. Ugh.
Well,
Ryan Gosling's performing, if that does anything for you.
at the Oscars?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I won't be watching the Oscars. I mean,
No,
this
you're not
is-
going to watch the Oscars.
No.
Not to watch Ryan Gosling perform his hit song
I'm Just
from the
Ken?
Barbie movie?
No.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10.
Yeah, we're done. We're fine. Okay.
No, except Barbie in your heart.
Can we get back to dogs' assholes?
Have you ever felt threatened by your dog?
My dogs bit me. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, I totally forgot.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
in the presence.
Yeah, I was in the presence of your dog biting
I had
you.
a toy that my dog had a toy that he thought I was going to take, and I made the mistake of not moving. And when my wife should have called the dog over. Basically,
Yeah.
it was when he was still a puppy-ish. He was probably about a year old at that time.
Yeah.
which is still puppy territory, but
Yeah.
he was being very protective of a chew toy, and I
Right.
was just too close to him, and I think I moved. I must have moved
Yeah,
a
like
little
you
bit.
flinched or something. I mean,
did
just
something,
some kind of
and it
furtive
went
movement.
"Wah-bum," and I was like, "Holy shit!" And it shocked more than it hurt.
Yeah.
but it was
Was that on your arm or your hand?
it was on my hand. Yeah, he gave me nice little teeth marks and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm happy it happened to me and not you, because then I wouldn't have a dog, because
That
you probably would have
dog.
pressed charges.
I would no, I wouldn't have pressed charges. I
You would have hit him.
would have.
and rightfully so. You
Yeah,
could,
yeah.
dude, I wanted to hit him.
That's a scenario where I can be your dog.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. If my
all right.
dog bites you, yeah, absolutely.
I'm just trying to find the parameters.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
yeah. And it's the same thing.
what
Like if
other-
one of your children bit me,
you?
can I punch him?
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
That's
That's fair.
Right?
Punch,
Do you want him to be a star? Okay. Like Joe
punch
Jackson,
it,
come
man.
on.
I don't know, punch.
What?
Because hey, listen, you're a grown man, and like
Yeah.
you've got power.
And there's things called consequences.
You've
in
got
this world.
power. It's so I'm thinking like hard open hand slap.
If your child runs out of nowhere and bites my hand, and I go whack and I punch him,
you punch.
I feel that's completely warranted, because that's fight or flight.
No, I think that's
Here I am.
That was not a conscious choice
Yeah.
for you to punch. That
I'm
was
just reacting.
You're reacting.
You know.
Now, as compared to like you're fooling around
Yeah.
And-
Oh, I'm not fooling around with any of your
Well,
children.
no,
by
I'm
the
just
way.
saying, like, you're horse playing. There's a horseplay involved.
I also wouldn't be doing that. I don't like children, so
So why don't you horseplay with kids then?
because I don't like them.
Yeah. Then slapping. That's a slapping
I
situation.
think that's a real getting a switch from the backyard situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember it was a funny childhood memory. My dad and I we would wrestle. We would have
Horseplay.
like horseplay. You brought that up, yeah. So as you know, probably 10, 11,
Yeah.
maybe around that time. You know, just horsing around
Yeah.
and shit like that. And I remember one time I kicked him square in the dick. Like it was one of those. I was getting very competitive about it, and he was having fun.
Yeah.
And I just swayed with all of my 11-year-old might, just kicked him square in the dick.
Yeah.
And he's been madder at me before or after that.
Sure.
But in that moment, it was just like, you don't ever do that.
Fucking.
Yeah. There was just something unleashed of like,
Yeah.
And then you just remember that. It's like a callus. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh,
That happened.
in a fight, you don't hit in the dick
Sure.
unless it's absolutely necessary. And in this situation, it
yeah,
wasn't.
Yeah.
So.
I remember one time I was over at my friend's house and we were wrestling with his dad. We were fighting around.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, hey, it's mine. And then all of a sudden, like, he took me and he was like, shoulders down.
The
You need
dad
to-
was?
Yeah, he was calling for us to stop.
Okay.
And just kind of ignoring it because, he's like, no, you need to stop. You got to fucking stop. You never know when to fucking stop.
Oh, I want to do that to you all the
I
time.
know, right? And it was just like, Jesus, where the fuck did that come from? And it's like, talk to his mom later, and he's like, yeah, like he was like coughing up blood.
Oh.
'Cause he was like, I mean, he was a heavy smoker, and just like two like 10-year-old, 12-year-olds like just climbing. I mean, like going at him.
Oh,
pretty
it
hard.
was you were 2-on-1ing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Gotcha.
yeah. Like me and my buddy. Yeah. Just
Gotcha.
really going to. It's like
He just made a man bleed.
just like made him like
Internally
so
bleed.
like aggravated to the point where he was like he couldn't control it. It was like, all right, yeah, all right, that's fair. That's all right. It's okay.
So this has been a consistent problem with you for a while, where you just
Take things
too far.
just a little bit too far.
I do remember as a child, like having, we like to watch professional wrestling,
Yeah.
and so when you get, I don't know, you get 4 or 5 boys together that like professional wrestling, immediately it's gonna lead
It's gonna
to
devolve to
backyard wrestling, and we're gonna be wrestling. So we'd always go over to my buddy's house, and like we'd turn his basement into a absolute shit show of just
cushions everywhere.
cushions everywhere. I mean, just destroy it. I would love to be a fly on the wall when his mom would come downstairs afterwards, like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because we'd all be gone by that time, and we'd
What happened in
what
here?
happened? But it happened more than once, so they had to be pretty okay with it.
What were you boys doing last night? This is I heard you out down here scrambling around and I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you put this room back together now.
As long as we didn't break anything, and that was the big thing.
That's the big thing.
You just don't want to break it, or make your buddy's dad bleed internally, or kick your dad square in the balls.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, yeah,
This could be a
this is a good
podcast.
podcast.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for exploring just this random fun world that we like to talk about. every
We
week.
all share this world together, and I'm glad that we're in it together because I don't know what else I'd do without you. And if you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, keep watching those YouTube videos because they're fun.
Yeah.
And we're doing it for you, so appreciate it, please.
Horses.